off some tags. Only got $20 in my pocket.
Hey guys, working on my Charleston. It's the Roaring 20s! Women finally get their shoulder legs up to their knees. I am wearing a very long pearl necklace. We really like to wear black, white, and lace dresses. And then I have my hair in a sensible bob. And then I'm wearing a cloche hat, which means belle in French.
1930s. It was the time of the Great Depression. People wore chicken feed sack dresses. The companies that sold feed put the feed in sacks that had colorful patterns on them so that the poorest of people could still have pretty clothes. When people bought feed and ran out, ladies sewed the colorful sacks into dresses. Now more to the wealthy side. The wealthy were not affected by the Great Depression. If anything, they were gaining money. They liked to show that they weren't affected. The ladies wore slinky, long, body-hugging dresses. Showing your legs was a disgrace. Bias cuts were a way of sewing clothes in order for the dresses to be tight and slinky. So almost every wealthy woman used bias cuts. Now people started getting courageous. A lot of rich women started wearing dresses that showed their backs. This had never been done before in the history of America. Everybody was shocked. The wealthy loved going to Africa to show off. Because of this, ladies started wearing cheetah and leopard prints. People thought this was elegant and beautiful. Sunbathing was done for the first time ever. People loved getting tan. Women could also wear pants. This was the first time that had happened too. The pants were long and baggy. They were called pajama pants. Women loved wearing these pants, but you could only wear them at resorts or if you were playing a sport. Ladies also wore animal fur. It was very beautiful and you had to pay lots for it. Hair and makeup. In the 1930s, if you wanted to wear trendy makeup, your face would have been a little paler, you would have ridiculously thin, tremendously arched eyebrows, a very pale eyeshadow. Sometimes the eyeshadow would be a light purple, but very rarely because it was all about your eyelashes. Fake eyelashes were used. You'd have very red lips and curly short hair. The 1940s. World War II was happening. Men were out fighting, so there were a lot of jobs women had to do. Ladies worked in nursing, transportation, teaching, performing, fixing planes, and more. And women were still expected to carry out all household duties. So ladies had it hard. The 40s had three main fashion ideas. Utility clothing for the women who were still working men's jobs, uniforms for women who were in the military, and war work fashions for those working in mechanical jobs. Women wore shoulder pads so that they could look stronger, and their clothes mimicked men's styles, such as collars and pockets. Floppy hats were also popular. Hair and makeup. Hair in the 40s was very much like the 30s, but a bit longer. Ladies had pencil-arched eyebrows, a pale eyeshadow, and very bold eyelashes, but only on the top lid. Ladies would have rosy cheeks and very red lips.
Hello everybody, today we'll be talking about the 1950s. It was a period of glamorous and conservative clothing. Here is one of the models. It is the Hourglass. Just let you take a good look there. And then for the next one, here is another hourglass shape that I drew. Here is a long and tapered. So the 1950s has a ton of different fashions. Another one of their models is slim and boxy, and those are the fashions of the 1950s.
The 1960s fashion was split up into 3 parts: early 60s, mid 60s, late 60s. The early 60s was pretty much like the same thing as the 50s. The mid 60s introduced the miniskirt. The clothes were bright, bold, and toddler-like. And people in the late 60s wore long, nostalgic Victorian-style dresses and Eastern floral paisley prints. Oh hi, it's the 60s. Today I'm wearing this fab dress. Dresses in the 60s were bright and bold. I'm wearing these white boots and they're very, very popular. Also, I love makeup. This is called a flip hairdo. And just so you know, the Beatles are amazing, so definitely listen to them on the radio. Well, I gotta bug out. Bye! The Beatles were the biggest influences in the 60s. They inspired people in America to wear Eastern fashion, Victorian fashion, and psychedelic patterns. In the late 60s, the Beatles went to India, so the fashion went to India. The Beatles started wearing Victorian clothing, like on the album Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club. So, the people started wearing Victorian clothes. The Beatles started the most popular trends of the 60s. Hi, it's 1968, and today I'm wearing this Eastern floral paisley print dress, and I see the Beatles wearing this paisley Eastern print a lot, so I thought, well, I should just wear it too. And I also saw the Beatles wear Victorian style clothes, so I might have to try that trend sometime too. Well, I gotta go. Bye. In the 1970s, a lot of bad stuff was happening. Vietnam War, gas shortages, assassinations, and more. People were worried, confused, scared, and nervous. There were a lot of trends throughout the 70s, and each of them became popular from time to time, and they all had something in common: comfort. People did not want to feel uncomfortable when all these bad things were happening. No way. So that's why there were a lot of trends, so people could dress however they wanted and still be wearing a popular style. There are many trends throughout the 70s, like I said, but I'm only going to cover 4 of them. Let's start with glam rock. Glam rock was a trend that used a lot of sequins, metallics, and glitter. Men and women both wore makeup. And some men didn't care if you thought that they were a woman, and some women didn't care if you thought that they were men. Okay, so now, platform heels. Platform heels were very popular. Women and stylish men both wore them. All American. This trend had a lot of denim. There was also a lot of red, white, and blue. There was one person who wore it best, Farrah Fawcett. She had the all-American look. She was very famous for her hair. Can you figure out which lady is her? Okay, pause the video and try to figure it out. Okay, Farrah Fawcett is the one with the skateboard. She has the perfect American look, as you know. She really had the perfect hair, and everybody tried to achieve it, even some men. The working women introduced the pantsuit. Well, made the pantsuit more popular for women. The Mary Tyler Moore Show was popular, and the show had a main character, Mary Richards. She was played by Mary Tyler Moore. The Mary Tyler Moore Show was the first show that had a working unmarried woman in it. Mary Tyler Moore wore pantsuits. Everybody wanted to have pantsuits now. Exotic Caravan was kind of nostalgic. If you wanted to have a caravan trend, you would have a very full skirt, a peasant blouse, a headscarf, and interesting prints. Everybody had a different style. The dresses would sometimes be crocheted, and a lot of people liked this trend.
Hey guys, just that was not jazzercise. I love things. I'm wearing some of my favorite 80s clothes, including bright bold patterns, leg warmers, and a stretchy elastic top. And don't forget the pony. Go big or go!
Hi guys, I'm wearing some very 90s clothes. Your parents probably grew up in the 90s. If they did, I would assume that they would recognize these clothes. Do you recognize the clothes? These are my everyday clothes in my closet because, well, it's 2020 and 90s fashion is actually very popular now. In the 90s, they wore scrunchies, mini backpacks, smiley faces, crop tops, loose jeans, and platform shoes. So yeah, peace out.
Hello, it's 2020. The clothes that you are wearing today is probably 2020 style because this year is 2020. I am wearing my favorite 2020 dress. It is midnight blue, as you can see. Satin, I think, with some blackish, silverish beads here. And, I love the 2020s. It's incredible. One popular trend is cutouts. It's when there's like a piece from your clothing that's cut out of it. And those are very popular nowadays. One of the trends that we really like.
One more. Can we go thrift shopping?
What?
Oh!